Hey guys, Endarn27 here, and we are back in Timberborn. We're just going to jump right back into what we were doing yesterday, where we had started our new agricultural district. I think we're going to continue moving up that way. Probably going to need to put down a new district center and keep growing everything out. I think that's where we're at, so let's get to it. Alright, and here we are. Now, one thing I would like to do is, rather than just waiting on these berries, I want to go ahead and set up a very small trade or route to bring berries into the district. This is what I want. I want to set up a limit on berries and just have them bring in a small amount. I guess it's right at the top, and I just wasn't looking. Sure enough. So I will have 25 berries over here at any given time, and we will set that up over here. Running a little low on routes. That's okay. There's our berries, and I think I'm going to go ahead and bump this up to a full... There we go. So we are fully employed there. Our berries will keep at it. Our beavers will keep at it. I'm hoping our berries don't do anything. Okay. Because I was having a little bit of trouble with our water here, I wanted to go ahead and build a hauling post. I think that'll help us keep stuff stocked and keep our farmers working. I'm also looking at it. We don't have any metal here, so we can't build any statues, but we could certainly put a couple of shrubs next to the farmhouses. I think that would be a good idea, so I'm going to go ahead and throw down some shrubs. And then, let's see here. We still have plenty happening over here. Plenty of water storage over here is what I mean. And they do finally have our beavers growing. In this district we have room for 6 more beavers. Let's go ahead. I'm not sure how these beavers are going to do with this little farming district, so maybe we'll wait and see how they do there, and then we'll go from there. They are building out our extra storage, but it does look like just the one beaver. Now granted, he's doing all his own hauling, so we'll see how he does after that, because he can't build up any storage here. So once our haulers have finished, we'll see how they look on that end. I need you guys to prioritize this. We need to finish building this out. So, yeah, not a whole lot happening just right now. You know, like I said before, I'm not worried about this drought. This is not a bad drought. We do have a slightly larger population size, but we're also much better prepared to deal with that large population than we have at any point previously. Or we have been at any point previously, so... Alright guys, not too much to report at the moment. We are 5 days out and down to our bottommost block of the reservoir. We did run out of housing space over here, so I went ahead and built us 3 new of the large row houses. I don't know, these things have kind of grown on me. Not a huge fan of how much how high they are, just because it's hard to put roofs and things on top of them. So, but that's okay. We'll just manage. We don't need a roof on every building. Now that said, we are still building out. As far as what do I want to do from here? We've got all this food coming in, and actually not much of it is actually usable at this location. So I either need to haul it back to where it is usable, or I need to give them the ability to produce their own food. I'm kind of leaning towards giving them the ability to produce their own food. These guys have enough. We can build a distribution center later. I'm not super concerned about this district. They're producing well over what they can handle in bread, and so we can always increase their food production. Granted, that comes with an increase in population, so there are some trade-offs on that. We also don't want to be getting too far ahead of ourselves. I want to have 12 children for the next generation, and we're going to halt kit production for the time being. We do have some unemployed in this district. We are continuing to grow this district out. Obviously, we're going to need to be careful there as well, because this district is going to be drawing on water just the same as this district down here. The Reservoir district needs to be self-sufficient, but not to the detriment of the city center district. So we're going to just keep growing out. Obviously, all of our planning out here is helping with that, and we are just going to keep growing out. There's not going to be a ceasing of the growth in this game. We have actually managed to fill this, so maybe our haulers are making the difference there, although we only have one, so but we're gonna just keep going and see what we can do. I think for food we can probably put our production down here. This area up here is going to be fertile. I want to save it for growing all kinds of crops, putting orchards, all that stuff. So we'll just go ahead and put down our food production along here and grow out along this ridge towards the city center district. Could even throw in another connection to the city center over here. And that's the end of the drought, guys. So we are going to be filling back up our reservoir. I'm sure this is going to take a little bit. In the meantime, Reservoir District now has a population of 22, although we have 6 homeless, so I do want to fix that. Go ahead and prioritize these row houses. All they take is logs, so there's no reason not to. Go ahead and let the water flow. At least get this back filled. In the meantime, as we were mentioning, we want to get ourselves a grill. I think we have a little bit of a log shortage, actually. Although plenty of storage space, so we're not short because of lack of storage. But we don't have a dedicated log storage in this particular district. I think I want to fix that. Okay, so I threw that log storage back in here. We've got ourselves a grill going right here. The one thing I didn't really consider is I do still need to place down a grist mill. If we're growing this wheat, I either need to get rid of the wheat or I need to get a grist mill. So given that particular requirement, I'd say we probably best be getting ourselves a grist mill. Can we still reach that? Yes. Okay. Sorry, just checking on our explosives down here. We do have plenty. Didn't make these, it's not gonna matter. And there's our warning of our next drought. Hopefully not too severe. Though that said, we didn't even use all our water. Well, I guess we did use all our water reserves here, but it lasted basically to the end of the drought. A shorter drought, to be sure, but it did last to the end. So, yeah. Stop raining on my parade. So wheat. I guess there's two things that we're gonna need here: wheat and logs. We need to get ourselves some trees growing. So looking at this whole area is inside of our range. We're gonna try that, just a 5x5, and throw down, let me see here, throw down a lumberjack just right here. Why not? Fill in the space. So that 5x5 space, he should be planting. Oh, well, you know, if you're paused, he's not going to do anything. Alright, well, they didn't get it finished, but thinking about it, this actually doesn't matter. We're bringing this whole thing down. So let's go ahead. Yeah, we'll start right here. And 3, 2, 1. Love it. Alright, go ahead and get ourselves some stairs. And then we're down. Okay, 28-day drought. Not great, but we're more prepared than ever. I was thinking maybe we needed to get some more kits to keep up with our employment needs, but at this particular stage, well, we'll turn on 6. We'll turn on 6 for now, just to make sure that we aren't having any labor shortages. We'll get ourselves 6 kits and turn them back off for the Reservoir district. Should be okay. I'm not super worried. What I am more worried about, oh, and they finished this. What I am more worried about is our water situation. Although that said, if they get low, the haulers from over here should, at the city center, should keep them stocked. So maybe that's an unfounded concern. I'm going to go ahead and pause this building for the moment. We've got enough of a reserve. If it drops down, we'll get it refilled. But for the moment, there's not a reason to have that. Our beavers are busy cooking up their potatoes, so we have some variety in their diet over here. Still need to get the grist mill going. I still haven't figured out where I want to put the grist mill on this side. Alright guys, just bringing you back real quick. I am noticing a slight problem overall, and that is that we have trees up here that are going to get in the way of our continued construction of the reservoir. And so I came up with a thought. My thought is this, that we are going to go ahead and build a bridge across the reservoir. One of these really, really big suspension bridges. Do we need them? No, absolutely not. But would they be really, really cool? I think so. So in line with that, my plan is to put it across right here. We'll have to put it across right here so that it lines up there. And we'll need a triple platform to make that work. We may need to do a second bridge. Yeah, almost certainly we will. Here's the other thing. We're going to need some metal to make that happen. So we have plenty. This thing takes 50 metal blocks. So 2 of them are going to be 100. What do we have? We have 162. So we just need to bring over some metal to that district. But I think having 50 will be plenty. I don't want to move too much metal over there. In fact, we'll just set it at 20 for now. That will be our last possible route to add. So that's, if we wanted to bring anything else over, we either have to start taking away from our, oops, don't want our water to run out. We have to start taking away from our current routes, which we could probably do. They're probably not needing food at this point. we'll have our own carrot supply. Or alternatively, we build more distribution centers. That option I'm not really in favor of. So we will just we'll just see where we get, but I am going to turn down our distribution limits on metal block to just 20. I don't want them taking too much over. We don't need all that. And they'll get going on that. Let's see here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it needs a total of 7 blocks. If that makes sense, it is a size 6. So if we go over here and get ourselves our next triple, that's going to be 1, 2, throw in our bridge. Yep, right there. And then we'll need, I don't know how far out are we? 1, 2, 3. Now there we go. We have our bridge. And a lovely bridge it is too. Our beavers have installed all the dynamite that they can. Yeah, we are just moving along as fast as we can, as happy as can be. 16 days left in the drought, and water getting a little lower than I like, but we're just gonna keep on keeping on. I am gonna go ahead and pause this district, so I do suspect it may be the one that's causing us the most grief, and it's kind of capped out at the moment. We are struggling to keep up with our current water demand over here, which I'm not happy about. So we're gonna go ahead and put down another pump. Obviously we're a little short on space over here for pumps, so it's gonna have to go in here. That said, we have these triple platforms. We can get one of that, or we can get a pump in here, no problem. So let's go ahead and we'll put that. We'll need an additional pump right here. One more triple, like so, and we're in business. Or we will be soon enough. Cool, our bridge is just about finished. Pretty happy with that. I am pretty happy with that whole situation. So we'll just keep growing out and doing our beaver thing. Keep expanding our water storage so that we can continue growing. Also, I have got this one. The problem I ran into, and maybe what I need to do. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna raise this up. Rather, I was just gonna back it out, but you know what? We're gonna have to build stairs up to it anyways. There's no reason to delay doing that. All right, and then stairs on up, and we'll keep building our levees to get ourselves some additional storage in this area. So that said, I'll let them do that for a little bit. I am pretty close to out of time in this recording session. I'm hitting that point where it is a lot harder to get a half hour's worth of material, which is always my goal. I try to keep about a half hour's worth of material. Sometimes I run long. I think the days of running long are at an end for this series. Oop, we missed one. I think we're gonna have a harder and harder time getting enough material to make long videos. And again, this is the last week of this series. Wherever we get to, that's where we get to. So this is, let me think here. I think this is Wednesday's recording. No, Tuesdays. So I've only got another 3 videos after this, and once that's done, that's done. We've had a good run. We've made quite a bit. I'm pretty happy with our little town here. Hopefully it does not die, which of course is always a possibility. We have not gotten to that magical point of being totally drought proof, and we've grown. We're at 114 total population, and I think that might just be in the one district, or is that in both districts? I think that's both districts. So we've expanded, and hopefully that wasn't premature. But regardless, whether it was or whether it wasn't, we'll just do what we can. I mean, we do have a lot of water still in here. It's gotten kind of shallow, and of course our water stores are usually full. I think there's just been a lot of beavers drinking this at the end of the day, so they'll get that back to full. And if need be, there's still the Phoenix plan, as I came up with in editing the other day. We can always kick all the beavers out of the Reservoir district and leave just enough, or kick all the beavers out of the city center district, whichever, and leave just enough to restart. And I think that'll always be a possibility. I think at this point, if we really needed to, if it became apparent that we were not going to survive, 6 beavers with 100 or 200 water will be plenty capable of making it through, and then they can just start up the beaver vats again, and we'll survive just fine. This might be another case where we do end up using the Phoenix plan. Yeah, 28-day droughts are no joke in this game. So I would say that's definitely been the biggest thing here, getting to a point of stability. And I think it's been especially compounded because of this map. Going in, I did figure this was going to be a very challenging map, and on the hardest difficulty level. That has proved to be a very true prediction on my part. And so, as we move along and do our best, we'll just, maybe it is just a simple fact of life that the more we expand, the more likely it is that we never hit a point of being really stable. And if that's the case, then none of us wants to see the constant cycle of death and rebirth. As much as that makes for an interesting story once, at a certain point it just becomes tedious to know that they're just going to end up dying and going to the brink of extinction and then clawing their way back from that brink. So, I don't think we'll put ourselves through that. We'll get to the end of the week and we'll call it a series and see what they come up with in the future. I'm sure that we will have a return to Timberborn. I'm sure that we will have plenty of opportunities to watch this game grow, and I'll be excited for it. It is a fun game. Highly recommend. Highly recommend for anybody that's looking for a game to purchase. I don't recall what this costs on Steam right now. I'll look it up and put it in post-editing later. But yes, the game itself is well worth playing. If you don't want a challenge, you can always play this on the normal difficulty or even the easy difficulty. The droughts are significantly shorter. Like the longest I think is a 9 or 10 day drought on normal, and on easy I think you just get 1 or maybe even 2 day droughts. no challenge in those. Maybe in the initial early game, but you can hit that point where it's no longer a threat to your town pretty quickly. And other maps are much easier on the water side of things. The base map, the very first map on the list, that is not a challenging map at all. So if you're looking for just a good fun sandbox city builder, you can definitely do that. There's a lot of things that we haven't even touched in here that are oh, I'm sure they're fun. I haven't done a lot with them. Obviously, we've got all our housing buildings for the Ironteeth. We could get to the point where we can do our deep mechanical water pumps. We can get our engines. I would have liked to have gotten to that point, but it didn't seem like we could ever support the population for that. Oops, I hope I didn't overflow. I did not. In fact, it looks like, yeah, we're out of water. So, 10 days left. This water's probably not going to last more than a day or two. And then we're going to find out if we have to fall back on the Phoenix plan or not. Water stores are clear full. These ones are not so much. But this is a smaller district, smaller population. It may end up dying, or again, the Phoenix plan. I can always kick out the excess beavers and survive on just the measly 100 food and water. So I think that's where we're gonna call it here. If you like what you're watching, like, comment, and subscribe, and we will catch you in the next one.